Hi, I'm Jodi Reinert. Welcome to my Stamp with Jodi YouTube channel. Today we are bringing you Season 3, Episode 2 of the Great American Stampin Show. If you are new to my channel or new to the Great American Stampin Show, we come on every single Thursday and do this friendly competition. We all have the same theme we're working with. You watch each of the 4 videos and you vote on the one that you like the most by giving it a thumbs up. So what we are doing in Season 3 is focusing on the templates, the card templates that are shown in the Stampin' Up! Annual Catalog on page 22, which, by the way, if you don't have a catalog yet, be sure to contact me, your demonstrator, so that you can get your hands on a copy. So, page 22, there are 22 different layouts. And for each episode, we are focusing on one of those layouts. So today is episode 2 of Season 3, and it's focused on the second card template that's shown. I'm really enjoying this season because even though I can still, put my own creative twist on the card that I'm making, I love having the starting point of the card template. It just kind of eases me into it, and then I get creative on my own. So I hope that you also enjoy those card templates and just kind of let them spark your creativity. So we've got a solid hour for you. Each of our videos are about 15 minutes, and you can watch mine and then look at the description in my video. Click on the links to watch Julie, Shannon, and Brandy's videos. And then, like I said, you just vote on the one you like the most, give it a thumbs up. And then on Monday, we determine who the winner is. So you just get a few days to vote because we're doing episodes every single week now. Our previous seasons, we did every other week, and we're stepping it up a little bit, and we're coming to you every single Thursday. So I am excited for this card that I've got to show you. It features some online exclusives, and I just really had a lot of fun with it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy 1 hour of creative inspiration. All right, let's get started by taking a closer look at the template labeled number 2. I wrote those, in case you can't tell, it's pretty obvious. I wrote those in on my catalog to easily identify which template is which. Keep in mind, this is the most recent annual Stampin' Up! Catalog, and I am on page 22. And our focus this week, let me pull this around and get a little bit of better grip on here and focus. There we go. Number 2, this is what we're doing here. So I've got the card base, a layer that's a little smaller, some ribbon, and then a label with probably a greeting. So that's what we're going to focus on for episode 2. Super easy to remember, episode 2, template number 2. Okay, so let me tell you about the products that I'm using. I am using some online exclusive products. This is called Greetings of the Season, and it is a photopolymer stamp set that's got 21 different images and some coordinating dies. These are all label dies, and they cut that little circle in there for tags as well. So this is an awesome bundle. Again, it's an online exclusive, so you won't see it in a catalog, but you will see it in my online store. So these are the stamps and dies I'm using, and then let me show you the Season of Green and Gold specialty designer paper. One side, making sure I'm pulling them all apart here. One side of each of the patterns has some gold foil, and I think you can see that in the way the light is reflecting. Okay, so one side has gold foil, some beautiful, beautiful patterns. Then I'm going to flip it over. Let me get it situated here. And then the other side are some different greens. You're seeing Mossy Meadow and Old Olive, as well as some white on here. So Season of Green and Gold, specialty paper because of that gold foil on the opposite side. So let me pull in some of the basics that I'm going to use to get started. I'm really excited, not only how the card itself turned out, but I've got 2 tips that I think are really fun that I'm excited to share with you. So this card base is Mossy Meadow, And I'm just going to line up my corners, use my bone folder for a nice crisp fold. And then I went ahead and cut a piece of this patterned designer paper. So I'm going to use it with the gold foil side up. And I oftentimes, I don't know if everybody does this or just me, but the dimensions of the card front are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I tend to do my next layer at 4 by 5 1/4. So it's a 1/4 inch smaller, which means it's like 1/8 of an inch on each end. Hopefully that wasn't too much math. But the whole point of that is to say this one, I cut down only 1/8 of an inch. So when I layer it on here, you're seeing teeny tiny little border. And I really like the way that looks on this particular card. It's like the Mossy Meadow card base just frames in what we're going to be doing. So this is my card base with that extra special layer of specialty designer paper. And then I think I'm going to do this part before I forget, because I tend to forget this part. This is just a little strip of some designer paper, again with the gold foil in there because it is just so gorgeous. So now with that decorative strip of specialty designer paper, it just makes it really fun for the inside of the card. And because it's a Mossy Meadow card base, I definitely need this lighter layer in here. So I'll just attach that centered there, and that way I won't forget. And now we can continue with the fun on the front. Okay, what do I want to do next? I think I'm going to show you my first tip. Two fun new tips. This is a piece of gold foil paper, and I'm going to pull in those dies again, the greetings of the season dies, and I'm going to use this one here. And what I'm going to do is place the die just in the center. It doesn't have to, if it's a little bit crooked, for what I'm doing, this isn't even going to matter. But I want it to be relatively in the center because I want to make sure that my edges are clean. So I'm going to go ahead and set this on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut that out. Okay, so now I've got that frame, and see, it moved on me a little bit. Not a problem at all. And then I've got this great foil tag. So what I'm going to do is take this next layer of designer paper that I'm using. I'm going to put some adhesive in the corners and then attach this to my gold foil. Now, you will never know, or I should say the person receiving your card will never know that there's a big giant hole in the middle of it. But isn't this a great way to save on that specialty foil paper? I actually do this with just regular cardstock too sometimes, but especially when you're paying a little bit of a higher price for foil paper or specialty paper, this is a great trick because you get that gold foil on all your edges and no one ever knows the chaos going on in the back. All right, so I'm going to put more adhesive on this one. I'll go around my edges, and I'm going to do some right in the center. And then this will go on the middle of the card front. So really quickly, I'm going to pull in this layer, or template rather, and just show you. So I've got the card base, and then I've got this next layer. So what I need to work on now is that tag that is going to be my focal point. So you might have guessed that this is definitely going to be involved. But what I also did was die cut the same exact tag just on basic white cardstock. So I've got two identical tags, one from this background layer of gold foil and one just on basic white. Here comes tip number 2. So from the greetings of the season stamp set, I am using wishing you a Merry Christmas. So I'm going to build that greeting, if you will. And what I'm going to do is set, let me scoot this so you can see. I'm going to set this right down here in the corner. I think you can see that okay. So put that right down there in the corner. I'm using my grid paper because that helps me get the image straight, and it'll be lined up straight, hopefully, with the second image. So this one, this is right at 0, right at that baseline. This one I'm putting up here at 2 inches. And actually, I'm going to scoot this right over to the very corner. And this one then is just a little bit in. So this goes up to this line. So there's pretty much an equal distance here. And now I can take my acrylic block and just set it right over those two. And now I can stamp this with one simple motion. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to pull in Pecan Pie and ink up my Wishing You a Christmas. And I'm going to stamp that in the center. And then I'll come back in with Mary and Old Olive ink. I couldn't remember if I decided to do Mossy Meadow or Old Olive, but I went with Old Olive. So I'll ink up Mary, get that right in that open space there. So now I've really easily been able to stamp with 2 different colors, the Pecan Pie and the Old Olive, on the one tag. I just like lining up 2 images on one block sometimes, especially if I was doing a lot of these. And you might be thinking, okay, why in the first place are you doing a Christmas card in the summer? But a lot of times this is when we have a little more time to do those mass production stamping cards, you know, like you might have, I don't know, I mean, some people do like 100 Christmas cards, and this might be the time of year when you can just sit back and enjoy it a little more, as opposed to when Christmas is actually approaching and everything gets crazy. So if I was to mass produce this as my Christmas card, having the words lined up on here would be so helpful to get that consistent look with each card. So you noticed as I was talking, I trimmed off the ends of my tag, and now I'm going to just layer this right on the gold tag. So they're the exact same tag. Just going to turn it over and press really good. Exact same tag. So it's really easy to just layer those 2 together. Okay, and I love that gold foil. All right, so before I attach this to the card, I'm going to just put some adhesive there in the center because I'm going to pull it in again. If you remember, there's a little ribbon behind that layer, and that's what I want to do on here. So I cut this. It's got, I don't remember the name of it, but it's got pecan pie in it. And I cut about, 11.5 inches. And I'm going to just set it here into my adhesive a little bit and loop it, press it down again, loop it, and press it down again. So just like that layer with the gold where on the back it looks a little chaotic, underneath the tag it kind of looks a little chaotic too, but no one ever knows. Unless, I guess, they tear your card apart, which would just be weird for other reasons. So I'm putting Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of my tag, and we'll get this on here. It's such a quick and creative card. I love the layers, the texture, the gold foil on here. It just is a really stunning card, but it's really quick. Easy to duplicate. Now, one little thing. You've got that open spot. You could add some linen thread or something up there. I am going to add, what is this called? An iridescent foil gem. So I've got one here. I'm just going to peel it off. I could use my take your pick tool and add it right over that little opening and just give it even a little more that draws your eye into that focal point. So that is what I have for you today for template number 2. I think it's very similar. The layer, the tag, the ribbon behind it. It was such a fun card to make, and I hope that you also love all this gold foil on here and just the kind of fanciness that we get at Christmas sometimes. But sometimes people like to tone it down a little bit. So I made another card, same exact season of green and gold designer paper, but instead of using the gold foil sides, I just used the sides that show Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. So if this is more your style, just a little simpler, not the foil paper, this is definitely another option for you. I personally really like the gold foil on here for the Christmas season. And don't forget the fun inside, because we had that Mossy Meadow darker card base. So that's what I have for you today. I would love to get your vote, simply giving me a thumbs up here on my YouTube channel on this video. Be sure to watch the other 3 videos from Shannon, Brandy, and Julie. This is a full hour of creative inspiration just for you, and we are so excited to be doing it weekly now. All right, thanks for watching. Cast your vote and have a great day.